Hello everyone, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. My idea today for a video, I want to walk you through some of the albums that I have in the I'm going to say C section, but you know what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to start with a band called The Chiefs, and look at how they spell their name, Cheifs. Okay, who are the Chiefs? The Chiefs are a punk band, and this is a compilation album. It's got their first 7-inch that came out in 1980 on it, and it's got some stuff from an album that came out in 1981, and then it's got a song from a New Alliance compilation called Chunks, which came out in 81 too. And then there's some unreleased stuff that was recorded in 1982. So the Chiefs, they sound like a typical punk band from the early 80s. So if you like The Descendants, that's the band that I really feel that these guys sound like. You would definitely dig these guys, the Chiefs. All right, next. Circle Jerks, Gig. The Circle Jerks, led by Keith Morris on vocals. Great punk band. Keith Morris formed these guys when he had left Black Flag. This is obviously a live recording, and this was a record store release that came out in 2018, but I believe that the original album came out in 1992. So this was a live album by the Circle Jerks. Really good stuff. The band sounds great. They just bang through 22 songs. And, it just has that great live concert feel to it. Stanley Clarke, Journey to Love. This album came out in 75. I was new to Stanley Clarke. He's a jazz bassist. And this album is great. I mean, it's got everything you want from a 1970s funky jazz recording. It's a nice warm recording, and I like how he thanks L. Ron Hubbard for his never-ending inspiration. I thought that was kind of cool. So Stanley Clarke. Now, this next band, I have 2 albums by them. They're called Cruel Frederick, and I've got The Birth of the Cruel, and I've also have We Are the Music We Play. Stand back so you can see them. These both came out on the SST label. You guys know I'm big on SST. This album came out in 1991. And this album, The Birth of the Cruel, came out in 1988. So, just from that title, The Birth of the Cruel, it's kind of a play on words of The Birth of the Cool. These guys are basically a jazz band. And they also kind of incorporate sort of an avant-garde quality to their music as well. I had never heard of these guys before. Even a lot of people who are into SST bands have never heard of these guys. But if you are into avant-garde jazz, you would definitely dig these guys. Cruel Frederick. All right. Very cool stuff. I've shown this album before. The Best of Crow. For lack of a better definition of them, I would almost call them like biker rock. I came to them through the song Evil Woman, which Black Sabbath covered. And I've always loved that song, and I kind of found out that it was originally by Crow. These guys are great. This is, a best of. It's got Evil Woman on it, Gonna Leave a Mark, Time to Make a Turn, Slow Down, I Stand to Blame, Cottage Cheese, King of Rock and Roll, Easy Street, When I Get Home, Satisfied, and Keeps Me Running. So if you kind of are into that 70s biker rock stuff, or if you want to just hear what the song Evil Woman sounded like before Sabbath covered it, check Crow out. This is an interesting pickup. This is a Bing Crosby album. I found this at a flea market. It's called Through the Years. Bing Crosby. I had to actually add this to Discogs because it was not in the database. This is a non-profit album that was created solely for the members of the various Bing Crosby Appreciation Societies, and it wasn't sold in any retail outlet. So it sounds like you had to be a member of the Bing Crosby Appreciation Society. At the top here, it says Limited Edition Club. And like I said, this was not in the database for Discogs. It's called Through the Years. I bought the album for two reasons. Well, I really like Bing Crosby, and I wanted to hear some of his non-Christmas songs. But the song that I bought this album for was Dinah, which is a really cool song. So that's a cool album. I mean, if you guys know anything more about this record, I'd love to know. It's called Through the Years. Like I said, it wasn't in the Discog database. I added it, and I'm glad I picked it up. And my last C album I'm going to show you is Alice Coltrane. And this is called Universal Consciousness. Yes, the last name Coltrane. She was married to John Coltrane. Very cool album. Came out in 1971. I'm sure you can tell by her clothes. Again, this kind of fits into the category of avant-garde jazz with just some interesting soundscapes in it. It says here, you've got Jack DeJohnette on here. Of course, Alice Coltrane. And transcriptions by Ornette Coleman. So that kind of tells you what you're going to be listening to. I was new to Alice Coltrane. I kind of bought it because of the name Coltrane, and I sort of liked that 70s cover. And I was pleasantly surprised when I listened to it. Again, it's not traditional jazz. It's avant-garde jazz. So cool stuff. Check her out. So that's some C albums for you. Maybe I'll do this every once in a while, just kind of pick a letter of the alphabet and pull some albums out. Let me know about what you think about this idea. I also want to kind of know, do you like longer videos or shorter videos? And maybe I can kind of cater it to my viewers. So enjoy the rest of your day.